This is Pricing.me audio review and news sports. LK here with another edition. I was going to say another edition of LK Wrestling Reviews, but it's not. It's a very strange show, and if you listen to the Stump the Idiot a few hours ago by Dave Coco, which you can see on the channel here, we talked about, well, he talked about the goals of having, shorter podcasts, more content. We said many times 2016 is the year of content. So, I thought, what, I'm gonna take some of the burden there, and I'm gonna try and upload as much shows as possible this week. We've done 8 shows this week. It's only Sunday, so we still got a few more hours to maybe bust out a couple of podcasts. Maybe tonight when I get back, I might be doing a Pro Wrestling Gorilla Bowler Night 1 review. Then on Tuesday/Wednesday, depending on what day, I'm going to do a night 2. And then at next weekend, I'm going to do a night 3. The first 2 nights will be solo. The last night possibly could be with Coco. That's not a guarantee. It's not a fact. It possibly could be with Coco because I'm trying to persuade him to watch PWG. So be on the lookout for them as well as all the other reviews. So thank you for being with me here for this thoughts on the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts DVD documentary. It's available on iTunes for $12.99. And if you are a newer fan who maybe doesn't know who Jake Roberts is, doesn't know who Scott Hall is, doesn't know who DDP is, and really doesn't, this is a DVD that I would show to someone who doesn't respect the wrestling business. And there is many people out there. That's not a shoot on guys who don't like wrestling. It's just a fact. There is so many, there's thousands upon, I would even say millions of people on this planet who do not like, respect. They think it's gay men wrestling in underwear. What, show them this DVD and say, yeah, you've been dissing this. Is there really need for it? No, there's not. Like, if you're a fan, even if you're not a fan of wrestling, this is a documentary that you can sit down, relax, and enjoy. This is one of those documentaries that you could sit down with your family and appreciate. You really can, because it's a hot. I don't want to review it because I didn't take notes when I watched it. I just want to talk about, like, it starts off Jake Roberts in his house. DDP phones him up saying, look, you're in a rough state, you need help. Jake says, okay, come on over to his house. You go on over to his house, and it's vodka. It's like his accomplishment is that he hasn't done cocaine in 30 days at that point. And then, he's talks about how his addiction with alcohol, and it's just like, you went, and in his house, what makes it so much worse is in his house, he has pictures of, like, him back in his heyday, in his prime in WF, or WF magazines all on the wall. And then you just see, and then underneath that is him sat there talking like it's his addiction. It's what he thinks about when he wakes up. It's what he thinks about when he goes to bed. And it's just, it's just when it's someone like Jake, and in my opinion, he should have won many more championships than he didn't. But I hope he doesn't look back on his career and think of what the belts he won. It's not that. My favorite promo of all time, and if you don't believe me, you can check out on Twitter several months ago. I tweeted it out, and you can follow me on Twitter at LK Wrestling. Just a little cheap plug there. I posted out a link to a YouTube video that was WrestleMania 6, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the Sky Dome. My favorite promo of all time, Jake the Snake Roberts cutting the promo on Ted DiBiase. The guy is magic. The guy can cut a promo. Imagine in that time, the early 90s, you had the Demolition come out. You got them shouting. You got the Ultimate Warrior come out shouting. Even Hulk Hogan, to a certain extent, came out shouting. And you had Jake Roberts, who came out here and he whispered. He whispered. The promo about how you made them beg for your money. And now you'll crumble. Such a promo. The best promo of all time. That's my favorite promo of all time. Anyone asked me if we did a Fave 5 on favorite promos, that would be number 1. Period. End of story. It's a fact. If you do not know that promo, type in right now on YouTube. It's out there. WWE WrestleMania 6 Jake Roberts promo, and it will be the best promo you've ever seen in your life. Period. And back in that day, I mean, everyone could cut a great promo, but Roberts, his tone was just great. And and then you had Scott Hall, who came in, and he was in a wheelchair. He couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair, and it was just looking at him like, it was so heart-wrenching watching, a guy who you respected and looked up to less than 10 years ago in his prime. In 2002, I remember him when he had that feud with Austin in the NWO, even though the NWO run did stink in the WWE, but, he still was on Mania. And you look at him just like 10 years later, and he's in a wheelchair. He couldn't move. And it's just so sad, wrench. It's just heartbreaking. Like, legitimately heartbreaking watching, 2 of the greatest workers of all time sat in a wheelchair, couldn't barely move. Like, And then what's really sad is, Jake Roberts was on recovery, went like 60 days straight, and then he was doing the DDP yoga, which I advise everyone, please go out of your way now to check that out, ddpyoga.com. Change people's lives. And that wasn't a paid plug. Don't think that's a paid plug. That wasn't. I'm not Austin, JR, and Jericho, for fuck's sake. I'm not getting paid to do this shit. It's just, it was just, I don't even know why I'm doing this shit. It's just, it got me so bad. Like, if you're a fan of just television, of great storytelling, of great emotion, of character development, this is it. It's 90 plus minutes of just emotional heartbreak. And when you're attached to these characters or people, it's a documentary more of, and you're there watching them, and you're there, and it's just like, this is great. It's not great. It's just, you're like, I could literally say, I honestly cried twice during this show. The first part was Jake Roberts was doing the DDP yoga, and he was getting really far. He had a smile on his face, and it was absolutely magnificent. And then he does one of those stretches, and you just see his elbow just go. And you just see him there, and he's there. He's on the floor crying, like, I need to fucking do this. I need to fucking do it for my fucking self. And he's there, like, being really passionate. I'm looking stupid, like, literally cutting a fucking promo. And I'm there, like, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. And then the other time was when Scott Hall came to the house. And then they were all talking, and it was just like, and then, sorry, at the end, when Roberts came out for Monday Night Raw. So imagine this, you're on a 90-minute journey with these guys. And then it ends with Jake Roberts coming out live on Monday Night Raw. And then you had an interview with Ted DiBiase saying, I wish I sticked around just to watch Jake come out. And, they, at the end, they're all smiling. And Scott Hall's with his kid now, Cody Hall. I may not have not so nice, kind words to Cody Hall when it pertains to his wrestling. But, I'm happy for Scott Hall to have his kid back. Jake Roberts, he has 9 kids. He's now in great contact with 3 of them. So that's great. And it's one of those, when you're watching it, you're like, this isn't going to end well. Please don't end badly. And then it ends in such a positive way, of Roberts going in the Hall of Fame, with Scott Hall going in the Hall of Fame, DDP inducting them, Jake Roberts being on Raw. And it's just great. It's just great seeing, people that you've idolized when you were younger, or people that you respect so much, to see them happy, to see that they had a great early life. They had a horrible middle life. Now let's hope they have a fucking great end life. And, if you're out there and you don't know who Jake Roberts is, or you don't know who Scott Hall is, go back and just watch some of their work. Watch a Jake Roberts promo. Watch how Jake Roberts made that DDT one of the best finishes in the world, period. Watch some Razor Ramon work. Watch his match of Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10. If it wasn't for Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels, there probably wouldn't be a TLC pay-per-view. There wouldn't be a ladder match. There wouldn't be Money in the Bank. So maybe Seth Rollins wouldn't be where he is today. So it's such a great documentary that I would advise this to anyone. This is one of those films, guys, that it's Sunday right now. It's 10 past 1 p.m. Okay, I got work at 2. I finish at about 9. So when I come back, if I hadn't watched this documentary, this would be one of those films where it's like you're 18, 19, 20, 21. You'd be like mum, dad, nan, granddad, little brother, little sister. Maybe not little brother, little sister. It depends if you have them or not. I wouldn't recommend it because there's lots of swearing and drugs and shit. So maybe you're 18, 19 and you're listening to this. Maybe get your mum and dad, get your nan and granddad, whoever the hell you have in your life, who you are close to. Sit them down, watch this documentary, and I promise you would appreciate them 10 times more. Because this was an eye-opener that no matter how bad your life gets, split second, that one person, DDP, that it just takes one person in your life to change it around. No matter how down in the dumps you're like. The guy was in a freaking wheelchair. And then he went on to be in the Hall of Fame 2 years later. Anything is possible. Anything is possible in this world if you put your mind to it. And I just wanted to come in here and just really give my props to DDP, to give our props to Jake Roberts, thank them. And what was really sad is early in the documentary, he's basically saying that his accomplishments were nothing. He didn't accomplish anything. That's bullshit. Jake Roberts has accomplished. So he's one of you ask anyone who was born in the early 90s, who was born in the late 80s, ask them, who is one of the best workers of all time? Jake the fucking Snake Roberts. End of story. One of the best promos of all time. When you watched him, you didn't think, is that the guy or is that the character? Like, when you get them like that, you're hook, line, and sinking. He hook, line, and sinkered you many, many times. And, and Scott Hall's one of the greatest works. I mean, the matches he had in WWE were incredible with Shawn Michaels. And then the NWO stick that he did, him and Kevin Nash and Hogan revolutionizing the business even more. And it's just, I wanted to come up here and I wanted to show my respects somewhat. and just, tell you, please go and buy this. Go to resurrectionofjakethesnake.com and please buy this. Don't be a hack and a scammer. And there is a way you can watch this online, of course. There's a way to watch everything online these days. But please buy the DVD. Show your support for two of the all-time greats, and DDP to probably the genuinely best human being I've ever seen on planet Earth, period, end of story. And just please go out there for your way to watch it. I'm going to go to some live comments now, and then I'm going to wrap this bad boy up, because the plan of attack is to maybe produce some more shows like this, more short shows. So I have a live chat from 40 Corners. He put, I thought this film was great. I've a newfound respect for DDP. Yeah, I completely agree. The film was absolutely ridiculous. It was amazing. Thank you for that comment. It was a great film. DDP is probably one of the most genuine, best human beings I've ever seen on the planet. Jake the Snake is so proud to just keep fighting, fight the good fight. Same as Scott Hall, fight the good fight. You've had ups and downs. Don't let it slip now. There is lots and lots and lots, thousands, maybe even millions of wrestling fans out now. Probably millions. No, fuck it. I would say tens of millions of people on this planet right now who respect, love, idolize Jake Roberts, respect, love, idolize Scott Hall, and respect, idolize, and love DDP. Three of the greatest human beings on the planet. And I want you to go out of your way to watch this show. If you're going to do one thing for me, and that's go out of your way. If you can't buy this show, I understand, because times are tough. Maybe even watch it on a dodgy stream. Okay, if you're going to do it, just do it. And just please show support, show love for these three great human beings. There is nice people out there. That's going to do it. Make sure you head over to prowrestling.me. Make sure you head over to KocoSports.net. That's KOCOSports.net. It's where the world goes to kick ass, home combat sports, and above all, it's okay to be a passionate fan. I was as passionate fan of this documentary as it could be. I'm such a mark for this documentary. I'm a mark for Jake Roberts. I'm a mark for Scott Hall. I'm a mark for DDP. I'm a mark for all the legends who have busted their ass down the road. For my entertainment. They don't do it because they have to. They do it because A, they want to, B, they love it, and C, they love it, and as a guy who loves professional wrestling, I take props in that, I do, I do rip on, the Bo Dallases, the R-Truths, the Zack Ryders, but there, deep down, there is, the only person that I bash, that I don't have respect for, is Dave Meltzer. And there's one, okay, before I close, there was one point in there where I think it was Wrestling.com reported that Jake Roberts got drunk again. It was bullshit. Jake Roberts nearly started crying, saying, these people hate me. These people, they don't want to be nice to me. That is what Dave Meltzer does on a daily fucking basis. Okay? That's what Meltzer does. On a daily basis, he does that. Jake Roberts, when he read that report, he cried. That's what's going to happen when all these talents see things about them, all their personal life, all the drug addictions. When they see that, they're going to get upset as well. So Dave Meltzer respects the business. He's hurting the legends who busted their ass off for him many, many years ago. So that's why I don't like Dave Meltzer. He's a sack of shit. Okay, piece of fucking shit. And there was no apology, no nothing. The wrestling guy phoned up and apologized. That I respect. There's never any apology from Dave Meltzer, is there? No. Because he's a sack of shit and a worthless human being. But I will tell you three great human beings. That's Scott Hall, Jake Roberts, and DDP. Now, please go out of your way to purchase this DVD from the Resurrection of JakeRoberts.com. Go out of your way to watch it. It's a great documentary. As a human being, it makes me proud that there is other nice human beings out there. So thank you very much. Our next show will be a PWG Bowler Night 1 review. Then Monday will be back to Monday Night Raw review. 2016 is the year of content, and it's the year of ProWrestling.me. So thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. That being said, it's been okay. Have a great Sunday. Spend time with your family and appreciate them. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch your asses down the line.